Hi there and welcome to another video from Hegarty Maths. It's Mr Hegarty here. It's our 20th GCSE higher revision video for those trying to secure a C and B on the Edexcel GCSE paper. We're doing straight line graphs. As always, this isn't in-depth revision or teaching the topic, should I say. It's for revision purposes to remind you of the topics and then practice exam questions. Take the notes down I do in the examples in the start, then make sure you try the exam questions yourself and mark them with my answers. So, let's start off with an example straight away with this one. So, example 1. You can be asked to complete a table of values for a straight line. So here, the straight line we're given y is equal to 2x add 5, and we're given a table and we're told x is negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1 and 2. We're asked to complete the table for 2 marks and then plot the table for the other mark. Now, just first things first, let's put in easy numbers first. So when x is 0, y is 5. When x is 1, 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, add 5 is 7. Then put in 2 here. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, add 5 is 9. Now you can see the sequence is going up in 2s, so it will go down in 2s. So this one's going to be 3. Rather than playing around with negatives here and trying to work that out and getting confused, do the positive numbers, the 0 and the positives, and work your way back. So now we're going to plot each of these. Now remember, x means across and y is up or down. Okay, so let's plot these. Now, really important you spot this here. 2 squares is worth 1 along the bottom, but only one little square is worth 1 along here. They've done that to trick you. Don't fall for the trick. So let's plot 0 with 5. 0 across, 5 up. There. 1 across, 7 up. 1 across, 7 up. Don't fall for the error with the scale. 2 across, 9 up. 2 across, 9 up. And going backwards, negative 1 with 3, negative 1 back with 3, and negative 2 back with 1 up, negative 2 back, 1 up. There's our straight line. And you can see, you'd be able to tell if it was a mistake because it wouldn't be a straight line. You draw a line through it, you're done. Okay, another example here. Imagine they gave you this straight line equation and they said to plot it on the axes given. What would you do then? Well, there's no table of values to fill in. Now, in this case, all you really need is you need 2 points, 2 coordinates to draw this. So, you want to find an x and a y that work for this. So you want to find an x so that when you double it, and find a y so when you treble it and add them together, you get 12. I would always do something fairly straightforward here. I would imagine x was 0. Let's pick x to be 0. If x was 0, that would be gone. And we'd have 3y would be 12, so y would be equal to 4. So x is 0 and y is 4 is one of the points. Then I would imagine now y was 0. If y was 0, 2x would be 12, so x would be equal to 6. And we can now plot that. So x is 0, 0 across with 4 up, there we go, and 6 across with 0 up, there we go. And there's our straight line between those two. So all you need is 2 pairs of coordinates to draw a straight line. So they're the 2 cases. Now, much more often it's that case. Sometimes they'll give you the table, sometimes they won't. Occasionally it can be a complicated case like this, but just find 2 coordinates, an x and a y that make 12, and an x and a y, another x and a y that make 12, and then draw a line between them and you've got it. So let's have a go at a few exam questions. Each time, pause the video, try it yourself, and then mark it against mine. So in 5 seconds, I'll go through this one. Pause. Okay, so I always said put in the positive numbers. 2 times 2 is 4, take away 3 is 1. 2 times 3 is 6, take away 3 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8, take away 3 is 5. You can see everything's going up in 2s, so it goes down in 2s. That therefore would be down 2 to negative 5. Plot these. 2 squares are worth 1 going across. 1 square is worth 1 going up or down. So all we've got to do is plot these. plot 0 with negative, let's plot -1. So 1 back with -5, 1 back with -5, nothing across and 3 down, so nothing across and 3 down, 1 across, 1 down, 2 across, 1 up, 3 across, 3 up, 4 across, 5 up. It should make a perfect straight line. If it hasn't, you've made a mistake. Draw a line through it, you're done, you've got your 4 marks. Next question, pause, I'll go through in 5 seconds. Okay, so we've got the equation y is 2x plus 1. So what we do is we put in the positive numbers. 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, add 1 is 3. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, add 1 is 5. 2 multiplied by 3 is 6, add 1 is 7. They're going up in ones, so in twos, so they'll go down in twos. This would be -3. Plotting this, 2 back with 3 down, 2 back with 3 down, 1 back with 1 down, 1 back, 1 down, 0 across, 1 up, 0 across, 1 up, 1 across, 3 up, 2 across, 5 up, and 3 across, 7 up, 3 across, 7 up. We made a perfect straight line and draw that line through them. Okay, this is slightly different, but it's very, very straightforward. Use your graph to find the value of y when x is -1.5. Just use when x is -1.5, which is here, draw a line down to it and read across, and you can see that y must be equal to -2. It's a bit like when we use a scatter diagram and a line of best fit, very similar. Now find the value of x when y is 6. When y is 6, that's up here. Let's draw a line across from y is 6 and draw a line down. You can see that's in between 2 and 3, so x would be equal to 2.5. Done. Okay, next one, pause. I'll go through in 5 seconds. Okay, we're not given a table here, but we're asked to do our x from -1 to 3. So let's draw ourselves a little table, why not? There's our x and there's our y. We're going -1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. And we're doing our y numbers. So let's start with 0. 3 times 0 is 0. Take away 2 is -2. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 take away 2 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. Take away 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. Take away 2 is 7. They're going up in 3s, so they go down in 3s. That must be -5. All you've got to do is plot this now. 1 back, 5 down, nothing across, 2 down, 1 across, 1 up, 1 across, 1 up, 2 across, 4 up, so 2 here to 4, 3 across, 7 up, 3 across, 7 up. It's a perfect straight line again. That means we know we've done it right. 4 easy marks. Should just be a bit more careful there actually, just like that. Okay, next one, pause, have a go. Okay, you might have found this one slightly more difficult because it's got negatives. Same principle, let's do the exact same principle. Draw a table. Here's my x, here's my y. I want to go from -2 to 4. So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Like that, okay? So let's start with the 0. Don't start down here at negative. So 2 times 0 is nothing. 3 take away nothing is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 take away 2 is 1. Now we do it with 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 take away 4 is -1. Now I think that's enough to start doing the pattern. You see as you go along here it's going down in 2. So the next one must be -3. The next one must be -5. So if it's going down in 2s this way, it must be going up in 2s this way. So this one must be 5, this one must be 7. Now we just plot them. Okay, so we just plot these as we see them like that. So let me group that. Let me make it small so it's not in our way. So -2 with 7. 2 back, 1, 2 back with 7, there we go. 1 back with 5, there we go. 0 across with 3, there we go. 1 across with 1, 2 across with -1, 3 across with -3, and 4 across with -5. And again, we've formed a perfect straight line. If you didn't have that, you know you made a mistake. Okay, this one now, pause, have a go. Okay, again, we don't have a table, so draw one. There's our x, there's our y. We want to go from -2 to 4. So -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with the easy numbers. The numbers that we can multiply by a half. So I'm going to start with 0. Half times 0 is, a half times 0 is 0, add 3 would be 3. I'm going to then go to 2, just because it's easier. A half times 2 is 1, 1 add 3 is 4. Then I'm going to try 4. A half times 4 is 2, 2 add 3 is 5. Okay, so back to -2. You see every 2 they're jumping up by 1, so this one they must go down by 1 to -2. We can check that. Half multiplied by -2 is -1. -1 add 3 be -2. Now what is it in here? Well, it must be, because it's going up the same rate, it must be 3.5, it must be 4.5, and here it must be negative. It must be this should have been negative. I think I've just made a mistake here in this one. Sorry, that should have obviously been 2. I don't know why I wrote -2. That should have been a 2 there. So this one here should have been 2.5. Okay, now I could have got those as well just by doing, let's say for this one, 1 multiplied by a half is a half, add 3 is 3.5. This one, 3 multiplied by half is 1.5, add 3 is 4.5. And this one, a half multiplied by -1 is -1/2, -1/2 add 3 is 2.5. Now I can just plot these. So -2 with 2, -2 with 2, there we go, -1 with 2.5, -1 with 2.5, like that, 0 with 3, 1 with 3.5, 2 with 4, 3 with 4.5, and 4 with 5. And again, it makes us a straight line that we're looking for. Okay, last one, pause and have a go. We're trying to draw x plus y is equal to 5. Okay, so if we're trying to draw x plus y is equal to 5, remember I could do a table and stuff, but here if I can just find 2 coordinates that make that work, that will be fine. Now can I find an x and a y? If x was equal to 0, y would be 5 by definition, and if y was 0, x would be 5 to make this work. So I could just plot that there with a 5 over here. Now the problem is 5's not on my scale, so I have to find another one. Can I find an x and a y that work? Well, imagine if x was 3, y would be 2 to add up to 5. So 3 with 2. And there we go, I've got 2 points, and therefore I've got myself the line that I'm looking for. And we're done for this video. Hope you found that useful.